having all the options. There we go. Okay. So one of the questions that I get asked a lot is, Laurel, if you only had $5 a day to spend, which tactics of yours would you actually implement? And if I only had $5 a day to spend on ads, a lot of people expect me to say power content because that's kind of been my signature strategy, right? The $5 video ads. But when people ask me this question, I always say I would do exactly what I'm going to teach you guys to do today, because this strategy right here is actually built to get conversations. And what is the number one thing that we need when we first start out? We need to have conversations with our ideal clients, right? You know, one of the things that I learned a long time ago, even before I came into this internet marketing space, I started working in television in 2002. I know I just aged myself. I'm older than I actually look. I started working in television in 2002, and I used to always have the salespeople swarming around my desk, right? Because I was a commercial producer at the end of the day. I worked for, my very first station was ABC. It was my job to get people to watch the 11 o'clock news. But my office, I say my office, my cubicle where my edit bay was, it was in the sales department. And I used to literally hear the salespeople just swarming around my desk, conversations, fastest path to cash, fastest path to cash. I mean, this was just nailed like into my brain from the very beginning. And so this is not just an internet tactic. Like, this is something that I learned working in television that salespeople in the real world know very well. Conversations are the fastest path to cash. And so this is just a reoccurring theme. And so this is why this strategy was actually built, so that you can get conversations the fastest, because if you're starting out, that's the one thing that you need. And one of the things that I noticed is a lot of you guys are spending time doing things that are not moving the needle. You're spending too much time on education. You're spending too much time scrolling through social media. If I needed a client today, what do you think I would do? You think I would be spending time on YouTube watching videos? No, I would go outside that door and I would pound the pavement and I would look for people who need what I have to serve. Okay. Now, here's the thing, okay? Going back to the television story. Whenever I first started my business, the only thing that I knew how to do was run $5 video ads and put together offers, right? I had been through a lot of car commercials, a lot of accident attorney commercials, a lot of things where I had to help people present their offer on television. And then I knew how to do video content and throw $5 on them and send them out to the social media masses and get attention. That was the only thing that I knew how to do. And so as we are going through this training today, I want you guys to think about, what is the one thing that I can do without a doubt and get results for someone, okay? So that's going to kind of be the theme today, okay? Is we're going to have an honest conversation with ourselves. What is the one thing that I can do in my sleep to get results for someone, right? I'm going to say something right now that's probably going to be a little bit triggering for some of you guys, and that's okay. It's sometimes triggering for me. And whenever I first started, how many of you guys like deal with imposter syndrome? I think a lot of us deal with imposter syndrome. The one thing that I have found that helps me get rid of imposter syndrome is having an honest conversation with myself. Am I promising something that I have no way that I should be teaching this right now? That is the way that I get rid of imposter syndrome. I'm like, am I teaching something that goes just a little bit outside of my confident level on being able to get results for someone? And that has helped me out a lot. Okay. That's just my opinion. You could take it or leave it, but this is something that I see so many people deal with. And that is the thing that has helped me, is I always go back to, what is the thing that I can get results for people like in my sleep? And sometimes it's having to go back to, what is that one tactic that you can do over and over again without like having any imposter syndrome there saying, you know what, you might not be able to do this. That's always helped me. And you can get very far with one tactic. Like whenever I first started, I literally booked out my first agency services with 6 clients by simply just doing the $5 ad strategy for brick and mortar. And I did very well with that, just that. And then as I learned and I started showing up online every single day, people in the online marketing space were like, will this $5 ad strategy work for webinars? I was like, I don't know. You want to try it and let me document the process? And guess what? It did. And then I had all of this data to back up that this worked. And then I was like, I'm going to take this and I'm going to apply it to this tactic and let's see if that works. So right now, the ecosystem that you guys know me for, that was not a thing when I first started. I started with a simple $5 video ad. And so some of you guys are trying to put too many tools in your toolbox when really you could just show up every single day and teach this one tactic over and over and over again. And you can do very, very well doing that. Like if I did nothing but teach this $5 tactic that I'm going to teach you guys today, if I did nothing else, I've got students who make 6 figures a month doing this one thing that I'm showing you guys today. Even if I didn't teach anything else in my toolbox, I can make a very good living teaching this one thing and helping people execute this. Okay. So I'm going to actually start off with something that I taught at a previous workshop for content, but the same is true for this. And this is going to be a reoccurring theme inside the $7 program, because if you are not getting results, whether it is through getting conversations or, getting people to watch your content, I want to show you guys exactly how this ecosystem is going to build upon other things. Okay. Because if you are just starting out, you cannot expect to get results in 7 days. You cannot expect to get results in 30 days. As a matter of fact, I tell people don't even expect any results in 90 days. What I expect in 90 days is enough data to actually know what to fix. And a lot of you guys are just being impatient with yourselves because look at Alex Hormozi. Alex Hormozi literally was putting out content for 5 years before anyone paid attention, before any people were really paying attention to him. Like this is a process. I am 6 years into this process. Some of you guys have just found me like last week and you're like, oh, who's this new chick? No, this new chick has been here for 6 years. This program is going on 6 years old in November. Like this has been a process. And so a lot of you guys just aren't giving yourselves enough time. So I'm going to share something really quick. This was something that I did at my content workshop, but it rings true. Okay. So if you are having issues getting people to raise their hand for a value bomb, if you're getting issues having conversations in Messenger, this is the good news, guys. If you are patient enough to understand what I'm going to explain here, you will win, and I will guarantee it. Not a lot of people can guarantee it. I am going to guarantee it today. If you are patient enough for this strategy, check this out. This is fail proof. Okay. So picture this. We're all looking at a football field. Okay. Now, on the left-hand side, you see the people that are not ready to buy. On the right-hand side, you see the people who are ready to buy. Okay. Now, every internet marketer is targeting the people who are ready to buy. This only makes up 2 to 3% of people in a given audience. Meaning, let's say that we are targeting someone like Oprah Winfrey, right? Let's just say this, right? Oprah Winfrey is one of the spokespeople for Weight Watchers, right? At any given time, there's only 2 to 3% of people in her audience who are ready to buy, right? That's who the internet marketers are going after. If we're looking at Russell Brunson, if we're targeting Russell Brunson, only 2 to 3% of his audience is ready to buy at any given moment. That's why whenever people build funnels, they're building them to get that 2 to 3% of people who are ready to buy. And so that's why you see a lot of people struggle when they're putting out a funnel, because they're constantly running out of those people, of those 2 to 3% of people. They're constantly chasing the 2 to 3% of people. Okay. Now, what if we targeted the 97 to 98% of people who are your ideal clients, but they're not exactly ready to buy right now? Okay. There's a couple of things that's going to happen. Stefan just actually made a very good point, right? The people, if you're targeting the people who are ready to buy, that is a very expensive audience over and over and over again. And so what I figured out early on, whenever I came into the online marketing space, I was like, people are using conversion ads to target the people who are ready to buy. And they're constantly having to find that 2 to 3% of people in all of these pockets of audiences. Like, you have to keep switching your audience. Like, you have to go from Russell Brunson to lead gen to email marketing to all of these different things. I'm like, there's a whole audience of people who hardly anyone's targeting. And just because they're not ready to buy, they are still my ideal clients. And so what if there was a way that we could actually bridge the gap between the people who are not ready to buy and the people who are ready to buy? So right now, what I've just done is picture a very slow moving conveyor belt. So we've got a conveyor belt laying over the football field of 100 yards, right? And it's only moving at 2%. Now, here's the thing. How fast this conveyor belt goes is completely up to you. There's a couple of levers that we can pull that's going to make that conveyor belt go faster to bring more people from not ready to buy into ready to buy, right? There are 3 stages that we have to take people through in order to get them ready to buy. The first phase is giving people clarity. We are going to talk so much about clarity today, because if you are not getting people to raise their hand, you have a clarity problem. There are some of you guys who are telling me you're having messenger conversations, but they're not leading anywhere. That is a certainty problem. We're going to talk about that today. And then the third one is pretty easy to build after you have done this entire ecosystem over time, is trust, right? Think about this right now, okay? I love giving this example because a lot of people are like, I'm giving so much value away for free and no one's taking me up on it, right? So picture this. I'm sitting in a coffee shop and I'm going to use, let's see, Andrea. Andrea is here, one of my favorite people. So Andrea is sitting in a coffee shop and I'm on the other side of the coffee shop and I'm on my laptop, right? And this like dirty looking guy walks in, torn jeans, torn shirt. He walks in and he throws Andrea, says, hey, here's a free BMW. What do you think Andrea is going to do? Andrea is going to be like, what the hell? What is this? Did this car get stolen? Like, I don't trust this guy. This is like, not really good, right? But if I walk over, Andrea, hey, it's Laurel. I was just over at the Honda dealership over there. I'm trading in my 2013 Civic. By the way, that's what I drive, a 2013 Civic, even still today. And I flip over my keys and I'm like, you know what? I'm ready to finally buy a new car. Andrea, I heard your daughter's going off to college and might need a car. Here, why? Like, the Honda dealer's not going to give me much for this car. Give this to your daughter. What do you think she's going to do? She's probably going to take the keys, right? Why? Because she trusts me. She's been following me for a while and she knows that my offer is legit. But what's the difference between the two? Someone was offering her a free BMW, lots of value, right? But there was something not right about the way that it was given to her, right? She didn't trust the person. She didn't know the person. That makes a huge difference. And so think about how many people right now are online trying to give away the same stuff that you're going to give away. And so this is why this ecosystem exists. And this is why we have to be really patient. Like I told you guys before, I'm 6 years into this. 6 years. It took a lot of time to get to where people are now. I will say this, when I first started teaching this strategy right here, a lot of my agency clients would go to things like Funnel Hacking Live, Traffic and Conversions, all of these big, box coaching, type events. I would lose clients because my clients would go over there And all of these gurus would tell people that I'm wasting their ad money by doing these video ads, that I should be focused on conversions. That was at the beginning of my career here in the online marketing space. So I lost a lot of clients because people didn't trust me yet, right? But if you guys take a look at your news feed, are you guys starting to see that the big gurus are starting to teach you guys the things that trusty Laurel here has been teaching you guys for over 6 years now, right? Why is that? Well, because marketing has changed and I have made the market trust me because I have been putting out content consistently, okay? So picture this. This is now a football field, and along the entire conveyor belt, I have one piece of content at every 5-yard line. And so as this conveyor belt is going, people are going to see different pieces of content, okay? Now, here are my people not ready to buy. This is what this strategy does, right? Whoop, we're going to load one person onto the conveyor belt with a video view ad, which is what? Much cheaper than a conversion ad. They're not ready to buy. But what's going to happen over time? They're going to keep moving along the conveyor belt to where, boom, I've got a conveyor belt full of people that are consistently delivering ready to buy people at any given time. This is my business right now, but guys, I don't have one conveyor belt. I've got dozens of conveyor belts delivering these people to my inbox every single day. I don't have to do two-step posts anymore because people are in my inbox because I've been doing this strategy for so long. A lot of you guys right now are here. You're not getting people to the other side yet. This could be someone who's 8 months into the process. This could be someone who's 9 months into the process, but this could also be someone who's 1 week into the process. Depending on how clear you are in your messaging is going to determine how fast this builds. And so that's what we're going to work on today. Now, one of the things that I want you guys to get out of your head that it's not content versus ads. A lot of people say, well, Laurel, should this be content or ads? I look at content as ads. Ads are content. Ads are just content with money on it. They're the same thing. I do not look at anything different. Anything that gets posted likely will get turned into an ad at some point. Now, my strategy is built on doing one piece of content every single day. As a matter of fact, right now, you'll see me push the gas because I'm at a point where now the $7 program's full. Lean on Laurel is full. I am pushing the gas on my content because I want to grow my audience. I'm not focused on making the sales because the sales are already on the waiting list. So you can't just look at me and say, well, Laurel's putting out 3 to 5 pieces of content a day. Well, it's because right now I'm at a different stage in this entire process than a lot of you guys are. Okay. Now, a lot of people ask me, what platform? Platform does not matter. You can do this strategy on TikTok. You could do this on LinkedIn. You can do this on Facebook. You could do this on Instagram. You could even do this on YouTube. My 2 platforms of choice are YouTube and Instagram. Those are the 2 platforms that I am focused on. That does not mean that those are the platforms that you should focus on. Everyone should focus on where their audience is. Okay. Now, one thing that I do want to actually make clear before we get into this, I'm going to skip over this because we went over this in another workshop, but we need to focus on something that makes your content unique to you. And we're going to talk about this today because Alex Hormozi, this is one of my favorite quotes that he's done recently. He says, everyone can make the same promise, but no one can have the same proof as you. Okay. Now, here's the thing, though. I'm going to go back to this. Okay. You can have the perfect hook. You can have the perfect copy. Hell, you could even have the perfect offer. But if you do not present yourself well online, you'll never get the client. Personal brands are starting to matter more and more. And so let's talk about that for a minute, right? Because so many of us spend so much time focusing on what type of client do I want to attract, right? How many of you guys spend a lot of time like figuring out who's your perfect avatar? So many people spend so much time on that, they often forget what does our perfect avatar expect from us? How do they expect us to show up online? Are we showing up in a way that they expect us to? I have a Lean on Laurel student who for like he did my strategy. He was putting out content every single day. He's a fitness coach. And I always do like these content audits for my students when if they're doing something for 90 days and something's not working, we do an audit. And so he submitted his audit and he's like, Laurel, I've yet to like get anyone to talk to. And I'm like, well, who are you trying to target? And he's like, well, high performing men who want to, get rid of their dad bods. I'm like, okay, so you're like targeting CEOs with dad bods. And I was taking a look at all of his content. He was doing all of it behind a desk. He's a fitness coach. Do you think that anyone's going to is anyone going to trust a fitness coach who's sitting behind a desk doing content? Right? And so we have to think about all of these things. Remember, I can give you guys the perfect copy. I can help you guys with the perfect hook. But if someone goes to your personal profile and you're not behaving in a way that they would expect you as an expert to behave, what do you think's going to happen? Do you think you're going to get the client? And a lot of you guys are getting involved in conversations that you don't need to get involved in. I see a lot of you guys online poking bears at political stuff and all of this stuff. I'm going to say this. Yes, it's important to be social, but some of you guys are like really wrecking like what you got going on here by posting stupid shit. Stop posting stupid shit. I know a lot of you guys are like, oh, well, Laurel, I can do whatever the hell I want on social media. Yeah, you can, but do you want clients? Because that's not a way to get clients. Now there's a fine line, okay? Because I want to make something super clear right now. Whenever we are choosing our avatar, we also have to think about, and this is where the fine line between who you are and being an asshole online, you have to figure it out, okay? Because there is a such thing as being polarizing to where you do want to repel people who are not your people and attract people who are. So you have to understand the values that your audience has, right? There's a lot of people who are going way left, way right. That's fine. It works for their brand. But you have to figure out where do you stand on those kinds of things? Like my values are very clear, right? My audience, if I would be willing to make a bet here, there's 67 of us in this room right now. I would be willing to bet that 80% of you guys are solopreneurs and have no desire to grow a multi 7-figure business. Would I be pretty right on that? How many, like, show of hands of everyone who's like, right? There's one, Jean Michel. He's my like black sheep. He wants to grow a huge ass company. But most of the people who are sitting in the room right now, you want to be a solopreneur. What does my content scream a lot? I talk about, well, my wife and I run the entire ship. I don't have any, I make 7 figures a year and I'm okay with that. I don't need to make 7 figures a month. I don't need to build this entire team. I don't need, right? Like you can scale your business pretty far without having to build a team. I know a lot of people tell you guys differently. You can. My wife and I are proof of that, right? And so that's one of the values, right? And another thing I just said that's important, right? My wife, I am a gay woman. I do not hide it. If you do not like that, that's fine. You don't have to work with me, right? And so these are a lot of the values that I put in my content. That is who I am. What is another thing that I am? I warned you guys about it at the very beginning. I'm very spicy. I'm very straightforward, right? A lot of people don't like that about me. And that's fine. I'm not the coach for those people because I like getting results for people. I like, like Erica's been with me, like guys, Erica Leary right here. This girl has been in Lean on Laurel since the very beginning, like 4 years ago. I think 4 years, going on 4 years. Yep. She's been with me a really long time. And Erica, I have given her some tough love a lot of times, but that's who I am. Again, we have to know who we want to attract, right? Again, so I didn't want to like, say, well, you shouldn't be who you are because that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying is you just have to kind of think about because people are watching, and so we have to make sure that we are aligned with the values of our audience. Otherwise, there's going to be some things that are going to be repelling, right? There's probably a lot of you guys who are looking at some of these people right now in this highly charged political climate, and you're rethinking following this person. I know it. We all are. Like, I look at someone and I'm like, holy crap, like their values do not align with mine, and I am whoa. Like, I'm not giving money to this person anymore, right? There's a yeah, or the Olympics, right? And so people are watching, but also people are watching too. Like, if you are sitting there and you are claiming one thing and you're sitting there like sharing all these crazy memes and stuff, people are probably going to rethink, is this person really making 7 figures a year? Because their activity online does not match the thing that they're claiming, right? And so, like, if you're a lifestyle, like if you were like putting out a message that you're making, because we have a lot of people here who are lifestyle coaches, right? If you're not posting about your lifestyle, people are probably like, why is that person not posting about their lifestyle? Right? And so it's like you have to like play the part. Like, I guarantee you guys, like, if I walk out that door, like right here, like I'm sitting in my office and there's Main Street right there. If I walk out the door, I am the same exact person in my city as I am here sitting at this computer. Like, next week, I'm doing a presentation. I'm doing an event at the Biloxi Chamber of Commerce. Like, I am exactly the person outside that door as I am sitting right here. And so think about this. Are you the same person? Or are you trying to portray yourself as a different person online than you are in person, right? Now, I know we just spent 30 minutes of time talking about that, but right here, what we just talked about is literally the most important part of this process. Because again, like I said, I can write you guys the perfect hooks. I can help you write the perfect copy. But if your brand does not reflect the thing that you're marketing, there's an even bigger problem. Okay. So what we're actually going to be talking about today is actually in this part of the program right here. So if you go into the program, into the Get Ready protocol, what we're going to be talking about is which type of offer you should launch. And if you haven't watched this section yet, I highly recommend it. It talks about the entire strategy, like how to pick whether or not you need to do a direct offer, like a power offer, low ticket offer, or if you need to go with an indirect offer, more like a value bomb. And it's going to have a lot to do with volume. If you need a high volume of conversations, you're going to want to go with something like an indirect value bomb that more people are going to raise their hand for, right? If I say, hey, this spreadsheet right here is a profit projection that will literally tell you what you should be spending on your funnel before you launch it. It's free. Who wants it? More people are going to raise their hand that if I say, hey, here's a spreadsheet at $7, it's a profit projection, right? More people are going to say, hey, I want it for free. And it's not about giving away the value bomb. It's because I want to have more conversations with people. Now, one of the things that we're going to talk about today is most of the people who are going to ask for your value bomb, that's not going to be the thing that they actually need to move forward. And we're going to talk a little bit about that, because I think a lot of people think, because we get the question a lot, Laurel, are you using mini chat? Are you using, an AI bot to deliver these value bombs? If you're asking me that question, you're missing the point of the strategy. Because the strategies, the whole purpose is to intercept a conversation, not to actually give them the value bomb, because most people don't need the value bomb. Okay. Now, there's a couple of cool things that I've added. If you haven't found your way here, I literally took all of my Lean on Laurel and agency clients, the most successful value bombs from every single niche that I could imagine that I've used them for. There's 5 pages of examples. Like, I mean, we're talking, everything from agency services. Look at this. This one's even for someone who works with brick and mortar. This window display strategy helps my clients increase foot traffic by 50% in just 24 hours. Want the display tips? This is for a brick and mortar business. This is for someone who does window displays in brick and mortar, right? And so this restaurant loyalty program boosts my clients' repeat customers by 30% in just 48 hours. Want to see how it works? Like, so it's not just this email outreach strategy. We've got prospecting scripts. Like, there's all different types. There's even spiritual stuff on here. There's personal development. This boundary setting strategy helps my clients ensure. So these are all great examples of what a good value bomb actually looks like. We've got this quick guide, by the way. I just put this together. This is my first micro book. I'm actually still adding to it, but this guide right here is literally how to have the messenger conversations, how to close on a sales call. I actually added Nick Peterson. If you guys don't know who he is, he's my mentor. Him and I are partners now. But he's got this case framework. We just taught it to my Lean on Laurel students. This is the case framework he taught at my live event in Phoenix. I've never really publicly released this before. Outside of my private clients, I put this in the book for you guys so that if you do have a sales call, that might be helpful for some of you guys. But this entire guide is inside the program. This is in the Get Ready protocol. Everyone should be going through the Get Ready protocol because these 3 were the first 3 assignments once you join the program. So if you were following the directions of the onboarding, you should have found your way here. And then the lovely Eve and Crystal, have you guys been enjoying their AI workshops here in the program? They put together this GPT that will literally, if you answer a couple of questions, it will actually write value bomb ideas for you. So this is, and you can just load this right into Chat GPT. Again, this is in the Get Ready protocol section, which type of offer you should launch, and they're right underneath the value bomb training right here. So one of the things that I have found is that whenever I ask people the question, what problem do you solve? 9 out of 10 people can't answer that correctly. As a matter of fact, I was just having a messenger conversation with a woman in Instagram. How many of you guys are actually shocked that I still have 100 messenger conversations a week, even though my programs are on waiting list? Who's shocked here? I still do this, by the way. I don't have a funnel. I do have a funnel. This is the funnel, right? A funnel is just a sales process. I still do this. I'm making 7 figures a year and I still do this one strategy. I still make it a habit to have 100 messenger conversations every single week. As a matter of fact, I probably have more. I don't have to do the 2-step thing anymore. People just are in my messenger because I put out so much content and people are asking me questions naturally in messenger, but I still do this. I still help people in messenger. Remember, I always tell you guys, and this is in the guide, I act as if that person has just paid me $500 to solve their most immediate problem in 10 minutes. That is kind of the framework that I use in order to have my messenger conversations. Now, just last night, I was having a messenger conversation with someone who's on the waiting list for the $7 program. And she was having issues with this problem exercise. And I was like, well, what problem do you solve? What were the first couple of words out of her mouth? I help so-and-so do this. And I'm like, if you answer my question with I help so-and-so do XYZ, you're already answering the question incorrectly. Because what problem do you solve is about them. It's not about you, right? So for example, right? If I say my value proposition, which is an important tool, but a lot of coaches forget to teach you guys the other part of that, right? If you go through a big box coaching program, they're going to teach you the value proposition. I help so-and-so do this so that they can do this without this, right? Value prop. My value proposition is I help people who are running webinars that are only getting 2 to 3 times their return on ad spend. I help them get 30 to 40 within 30 days. That's my value proposition. That is not the problem I solve. The problem that I solve is what are all of the problems that are keeping them stuck at 2 to 3% return on ad spend? That's the problem that I solve, is that they're not getting a return on ad spend. They're losing money. That's the problem. So if I do a little bit deeper dive and get ready, we're going to workshop here in a minute. If the people that I help are not getting 2 to 3 times their return on ad spend, or they're stuck there, what are all of the problems that are keeping them stuck there? Well, the first problem is their funnel is probably not optimized, right? That's the first problem I solve. Their funnel is not optimized. Once we optimize the funnel, what is the second problem that I solve is, well, they're not running an ad strategy. They're running an ad campaign. The third problem is they don't have an automated marketing machine bringing them in leads. year round. They don't have it. They just are running a single campaign to a funnel that is not making them money. You see how deep I just went? Now here's the thing. We have to go deeper. Those are 3 big problems I solved. Their funnel isn't optimized. They don't have an ad strategy. They have an ad campaign. And 3, they don't have a machine that's running year round. Those are 3 big problems. If I go back to problem number 1, their funnel is not optimized. What are the 3 to 5 problems that are making that funnel not optimized? There is where our power content is, and that is where our volume bombs are, in those micro problems, right? So if I break this down, here, I'll get a visual going for you guys, okay? So the first thing that I always do when I'm doing this exercise, right? So the problem is webinar funnel stuck at 2 to 3x ROAS, right? That's the problem that my ideal clients have. Now, here's the thing. I can solve lots of problems for lots of different people, but guess what? That's good news, right? That's where your different avatars are going to be. Because here's the thing, your problem in this room is probably not this. It's probably what I'm teaching you guys right now, right? You're not getting enough messenger conversations. So I can literally start with people are not getting messenger conversations and still do the process that I'm about to walk you guys through. So if we do here, the problem is that their webinar funnel is stuck at 2 to 3 times their return on ad spend, right? What are the 3 problems that are keeping that bigger problem, right? Well, 1, their funnel is not optimized, right? That's problem number 1. The second problem is they are running a single ad campaign, not a strategy, right? Number 3 is they lack a marketing machine that runs 365 days of nurture. We'll just say that. A lot of you guys are stopping right here and you're doing content here, you're doing content here, but here's the thing. We have to think about this, right? And I know a lot of you guys give me the excuse, but Laurel, I am a 30,000 foot view type of person, right? That's cool. That's the type of person you are. But here's the thing, your ideal client might not know that their funnel is not optimized. All they know is that they aren't closing sales calls. You see the difference there? Your 30,000 foot brain says, well, their funnel's not optimized. That's a problem. But your clients are thinking, why am I not closing sales calls? Right? They're also thinking, no one is making it to the end of my webinar. Why is no one watching the entire webinar? No one's seeing my offer. They're also saying, hey, no one is pushing play on my webinar. I'm only getting 20% of people pushing play. Only 10% of people are opting in. They're also saying no one is clicking on my webinar ads. Do you guys see the difference? A lot of you guys want to do content based on here or based on here. But the symptoms that your clients are feeling and can identify with are here, right? I'll use a B2C example. I see Stacy, one of my Lean on Laurel students here. A lot of you guys want to say things like, me and my husband aren't communicating, or you and your husband aren't communicating. That's this type of problem. There are a whole bunch of different problems that are causing the lack of communication. And so if you find yourself that people aren't responding to my content, it's probably because you're staying too high up. You're not getting to the actual symptom that they are feeling right here. Yes, exactly. Dr. Mel says it's like chasing the symptoms, value prop, versus finding the root cause, addressing their true problems for them. That is so dead on. Thank you, Dr. Mel. Does that make sense? Like that. Oh my God, that is just so perfectly said. I'm gonna swipe that as a and give you credit for that, because that is the perfect way to actually identify this. Right? Here's where your content is going to lie. So once you do this, right, I'm going to do it the same for this one, and I'm going to do it for the same here. For the sake of time, I'm going to show you guys how this works, and then we're going to workshop a little bit, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to take all of these little micro problems, and then there's another exercise right here. You guys should have access to it. If you don't, let me know and I will give you guys access to it. What we're going to do is we are going to, as a matter of fact, it's in the value bomb guide. What we're going to do is, oh, I said cloning, I meant closing. So here, I'm going to take this problem, right? That's the problem. And I'm going to plug it in here. Okay. Why I like this exercise, it's because it gives you a lot of data to actually do content. And what you're going to notice is we're also going to find our value bomb here. Okay. So the problem is they aren't closing sales calls. Well, let's prove the problem to be true with real data. And you could do some research on this. You can say, you know, probably we'll just make something up because I haven't done research on this today. 90% of coaches fail to close a single sales call. So I'm going to find some data that's going to actually like say, okay, cool, this is a real problem. I'm going to show you guys why this is important here in a minute. How are your ideal clients trying to solve that problem themselves? Well, they hire a sales team. One of the worst things you can do is hire a sales team if you yourself can't close a client. I know that's like a someone's going to argue with me on that, but you're not going to win that argument. I've seen it too many times, but I get why people think that. I can't close, so I'm going to hire a sales team. Why does that not work? Then I'm going to go into why does that not work? Because if you can't close a client based on your values and what you believe to be true, what ends up happening? A very aggressive sales team is going to go in and close a whole bunch of clients that you don't want to work with or over deliver promise and get you sued. I can go on forever about the problems of hiring a sales team before you yourself figure out your own sales process. But here's the caveat to this, though. A good sales company will actually go through that process with you so that you are aligned with the sales process that they actually install. Okay. Yep. High refund rate. What is your solution to this problem? And you can you could say my sales script. As a matter of fact, I'll just put Nick's thing, the case framework. And then why does your solution work? How does your solution work step by step? A success story that validates your solution. Like, do you have a client story that talks about you using this? Or do you have a self story about how you used it yourself to close a client? And then here's where your value bomb is: a resource that accelerates getting to that solution. So your value bomb is going to accelerate people getting this solution. So this is how we build not only our value bombs, but this is also how we build our power content. And every single piece of content that you're ever going to need is going to be in this one exercise. Because why? Every time you have a win, you have a new story to tell. If you guys notice, I teach the same things over and over again, just a different hook, a different story. But this literally will have all of your content. But the problem is a lot of you guys are staying here. You're not going deeper into what are the symptoms? What are, like, as Dr. Mel says, what are the root causes of the bigger problem that's leading this situation, right? A lot of you guys are staying more situation level. You're not going deep enough to where your clients aren't self-identifying. Like, hey, I'm having this issue, right? Because think about this, like a lot of people are like, well, I can't solve a small problem in a messenger conversation. Well, if you go deep enough, you can. I can literally give someone that case framework, send them off to go try it. And then they come back to me and say, hey, I tried it. Here's what happened. And I'm like, oh, we just need to build you X, Y, and Z. Would it be worth a 15-minute call? And I can help you solve that problem like this. Right? Now, a lot of you guys are probably thinking, well, Laurel, you just solved the last problem that you ever need your clients to solve. You don't have any. No, that's whenever I refer them to someone who will help them build a sales team. And then I get a little kickback from sending them to that person. Notice I started with the very top tier, right? But then I can help them build a marketing machine. I can help them do all of these other things, but we have to figure out what is that first little problem that we can help them solve. And so as you're going through that exercise, you have to think, because then it makes the conversation a little bit better, right? So I'll give you guys a real example of how this actually worked out in real life. Actually probably a month and a half ago, I was giving away my messenger SOP, right? You know, like how to have a messenger conversation inside to actually bring someone to a sales call. And I had this guy that was in my messenger asking me for the messenger SOP. And I said, well, how many messenger conversations are you having a week? And he said 0. And I was like, oh, my messenger SOP is not going to be the thing that's actually going to help you. Tell me a little bit, like, how are you starting messenger conversations? And he's like, well, I've tried 5 or 6 of these value bombs. And he's like, nothing is working. And so I was like, well, can you tell me what your hook rate is and all of this other stuff? Come to find out, his hook rate, which is the scroll, like the CTR all and the hook rate both measure the percentage of people who are stopping the scroll. And I literally was like, hey, send me all of your creatives in a Google Doc, and I will literally send you back a Loom video. And I will literally tell you how to fix every single one of those value bomb ads that you just like put there. His problem wasn't the good hooks. It was just his creative really sucked. And so I just went in and I said, hey, look, I don't know if you've seen this tool Canva, but here's how you could actually do this, this, and this, and this. And he was literally like, Laurel, is this what you do for your Lean on Laurel students? I didn't even have to ask him, like say, hey, this is what we do in Lean on Laurel. He asked, he's like, hey, is this what you do for your Lean on Laurel students? I said, yes, but you're not ready yet. And I turned him down. I said, you're not ready to apply yet. Keep working the $7 program. But I want you guys to like, but what's going to happen? Because I had that conversation, because I helped him, he's going to go out and probably do it. And he's probably going to be a kick-ass Lean on Laurel student in the next couple of months. That's what I'm always looking at, the long game. I think a lot of you guys are trying to like hurry up and get to the sell. But what did I do there in that conversation? Can someone tell me in chat, what did I do there? If we're talking about, yeah, man, you guys were listening today. I love it. You guys are on your like feet today. Trust. That guy trusts me. I literally told him, you're not ready yet. I did not want to take his money. You're not ready yet. And sometimes that's okay, because guess what? Remember how I told you guys the conveyor belt? That is part of what gets people on that conveyor belt. But a lot of you guys are not giving yourself a long enough time. A lot of you guys have people in the middle of the conveyor belt and you're about to give up before the conveyor belt's about to deliver you a shit ton of clients. You're giving up and you're going, try something else. Like if I needed a client today, this is literally, and I had $5 a day to my name, this is what I would be working on. And if I am not having conversations, I'm probably doing 5 or 6 value bombs a day to try to get those conversations. I am probably doing nothing but that. I'm not watching YouTube videos. I'm not listening to podcasts. I'm not reading a book. Like I am literally trying to get conversations, because here's the thing. Your data is your data. You can listen to Alex Hormozi's podcast talking all about all his successes and how he got to success, but it's not your data. You can watch all of my videos on YouTube talking about how I'm getting all of this result. It's not your data. You need your own data. And the only way to get your data is by engaging the field, right? Not being dull. The second thing about being dull is trying to base your data on someone else's. I see this all the time in the $7 program. And that is why if you've asked this type of question in the $7 program, I tell I tell Christina and Suzanne to not accept it. If you come into the $7 program and you ask a question like, if I do this value bomb, how many messages do you think I'm going to get? Or what should I expect to pay per message with your value bomb? We don't know. Go and find out and then bring us the data. Then we can help you based on your data. Right? Because here's the thing. If I've got, and this happens all the time because I work with a lot of fitness people in Lean on Laurel, and I will tell you this, all of their data is very different. I've got some of them that pay $16 per conversation, and I've got some of them that pay $4 per conversation. I've got some of them where it only takes 20 conversations to get 5 booked calls, and I've got one that it takes like 100 conversations to get 5 booked calls. It is all different. Why? Who is paying attention? Why does it differ? Why is it different for everyone? Are you guys paying attention? I hope you guys got the main point that I was, yes. Danny paid attention. How you present yourself online is going to determine how the strategy works for you. Yeah, certainty, clarity, and trust that, but it all begins with how we present ourselves online. I do these research tests for my Lean on Laurel students when their stuff's not working, like their stuff's not converting, and a couple of them will smile because they've felt this. So in Lean on Laurel, if people aren't responding to an offer, have you guys ever seen me post, hey, I'm looking for 10 to 15 volunteers of people who are in this niche? What I do is I have my Lean on Laurel students load up their best power content video, their best conversion multiplier, and their power offer ad that's been running. And I actually send it to the people who volunteer and say, hey, I'm in this niche. I would love to help. And I ask these people, and they're anonymous. My students never see who said what. But I tell these people in this research group, do not hold back. I ask them questions like, do you trust this person? What is your first impression of this person? And people in that research group do not hold back. And you would be surprised. I had one person, and this was actually, and this person never did this again. It was really funny because this is something I would have not have like judged someone for. So I had a student who helps people with their live confidence on camera. And I sent the research group one piece of power content. She wasn't doing conversion multipliers. We sent them 3 pieces of power content and her landing page. And this person was a lot like me. She just gets up and does stuff, and you know, she doesn't dress up. Her ideal clients were like, I don't trust her because she's wearing a wife beater. Every single person was like, I immediately turned it off because she didn't look like she could help me because of a freaking wife beater. Right? People are that you have to think about this. There's so much competition, guys. You are one of hundreds of people who offer what you offer. I know that some of you guys think what you have is unique. It might be more unique than what other people are doing, but and so this is why it's super important that we understand not only who our ideal clients are, but also how do they expect us to show up? Right? I show up however, bedhead, it doesn't matter. I don't care. But here's the thing. It worked for me because 6 years ago, there was a lot less competition. I am pretty sure that if I did that today, it probably wouldn't work as well. I don't know. Maybe it would. Maybe people resonate with me more because of that. But whenever I came out, Amy Porterfield was this beautiful. I mean, she is still beautiful, but like she was my my main like competition, right? Amy Porterfield, Kat Howell, all these very beautiful women. And for some reason, maybe people, were like, oh, I like this Laurel. She just rolls out of bed. And like, if you go back and go, because remember when I first started, I was going live at 5 a.m. because I still had a full-time job. I did not quit my job until I was making 3 times the amount of money as my full-time job. I kept it. Why? Because I kept reinvesting what I was making into my business back into the business by hiring a mentor from the very beginning. And I knew that like if I was going to make this business work, I had to spend some money. And so I was like, I did not want it to be relying on bills and all of that fun stuff. But yeah, you guys need to differentiate yourself from the actual noise that's going on. So let's see. I'm going to open it up to Q&A because we've got, I wanted to leave about, 30 minutes or so to have some Q&A. And let's see. Emmanuel says, when Amanda first showed me one of Laurel's ads, I connected with the image immediately. I knew right away that there is no BS. That's what I like. Yeah, my very first ad, some of you guys probably bought the program from this ad. It is me I want to say I still lived in Phoenix at the time. So this is an old ad. One of the very first ads for the $7 program, but it made me like 6 figures. I am standing in front of a whiteboard and I'm wearing no shoes. I think Christina had just snapped me like teaching one of my live classes and I used it for an ad and I was like barefoot. And of course, some people were like, she's not professional, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of people are like, man, I like her style. I'm barefoot all the time. Personal finance, Mike, you're our cutie. We don't care about Porterfield. You're the real deal. Oh, that made my day. Thank you. Mr. Chris, who shows up every call and I freaking love it. Like this guy is a perfect example of how I love students to show up. Chris, how could I help you today?
Thank you so much, Laurel. Always a pleasure being on your calls, and they're always so helpful and everything. So that's
So
why I
you
always
so you've been
come.
on a lot of my calls. What was your takeaway from today? Because I think you've seen this presentation a couple of times. What's your takeaway today?
That I have to actually go back to our business profile that we run the ads on and do a profile audit and make it more presentable for our target audience. It's
Mhm.
kind of it just looks very generic, so I want to focus on presentation a lot, so it aligns more with the content that we're putting out there.
Yes, and it will lower the cost of your ads. I will say this, and this is something that a lot of people used to fight me on, but not anymore. Like in the very beginning, I had a theory because a lot of my clients in the agency days, because it wasn't as important as it is now, they were fighting me on putting actual content on their business page. And I found that once I started making them put content on their business page and I started boosting those posts, their ad costs lowered, like their CPMs actually got lower.
Wow.
And now a lot of people are like, but yes, like actually putting out content on your business page. And I don't know if you guys notice, I get way more engagement on my business page than I get on my profile now. So there's a lot of things that are going on there. And so that's why I taught you guys, like, if you guys haven't gone through in the Get Ready protocol, the organic foundations, even if you are not planning on doing any organic, which I think you should, because again, I look at content as content, not as ads and content. Go through the content workshop that I just did. It's the very first in the thing, and it'll show you my content strategy so that you're not having to do content constantly. Because I don't like being on social media a lot. Okay, hit me with it, Chris.
Got it. So one of the biggest issues that I'm having right now is I was focusing on creating, I guess, on the power content instead of creating conversations because I only have about a $300 to $500 a month ad budget to really just lean on right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not really getting conversations from my reels that I'm doing for my conversion multipliers. So after this workshop, I definitely have a lot more like understanding of what to do and stuff like that. But is there a certain like KPI that like for like cost that we should be getting for the conversation, or just like when we start getting conversations, just roll with that? And like if we're not doing the 3 days of power content, or like in that instance, I'll be using that because I'm using YouTube as well, like you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Would I be
Yep.
using my power content as like YouTube videos and stuff like that, and then the conversion multipliers I'll be switching out every every week?
Yes. Great question. Now, one of the things that we have to remember is that if people aren't requesting the value bomb, like we kind of have to figure out like why are they not asking? Like, are we, like I said, like kind of presenting ourselves? Are we trying to solve a problem that maybe they don't have? But if you have $300 to $500 to spend, I would spend it on both power content and conversion multipliers. So even if you have to take your budget down to $2 a day for your power content, because remember, everything's going to work together. Because here's what I really want to happen for you guys is because once you have that warm traffic, it's going to be so much easier to get people to raise their hand because they have been following you for a while and they're like, you know what, I've been following Chris's content. He's really good. I'm gonna, I'm gonna take him up on this for this one time. And you're gonna notice that the sale is gonna happen so much faster, right? Because they're warmed up. And what's your gut? Why do you feel people aren't taking you up on it?
Um, I feel like maybe my targeting might be off, but like maybe I'm not putting something, or like I honestly don't know. Maybe I'm putting too much like energy into my reel or something, um, because I haven't had anyone convert from the real, and people and like my clients and everything, who are like my target audience and everything, love the reels that I'm putting out, and they say that it's like very helpful for them. But like when I have conversations with them, they still need help coming up with like lead magnet ideas or conversations and like value bombs in that instance. So like a lot of my stuff is like creating content for them, so I'm like wondering if I should be using the content that they're requesting and using that as
Yes,
value.
yes, yes, yes. So I'm glad that you asked this. There's two things that I want to unpack here. I'll unpack the question that he asked first. How much should I be paying for a messenger conversation? This varies, right? Because if you're targeting someone like chiropractors, dentists, someone who's like in a very tighter niche, you're going to pay much higher for a messenger conversation, but they're probably going to be a lot more qualified than going more broad into the online marketing space and like, just targeting coaches and stuff. The more targeted you go, the more expensive the messenger conversations are going to be, but the higher the quality
Mm,
that they're
okay.
actually going to be. So that's one of the things. I forgot what was the thing that you asked me this last time? Sorry. Didn't have
Uh,
enough coffee this morning.
no, it's okay. It was pretty much. I think it was with doing the content from my clients' problems that they're currently
Yes,
requesting.
absolutely. So thank you. So the more that you're going to have these conversations, the more content topics you're going to have to talk about, right? Like every single messenger conversation that you have can be turned into usable content. That's why I love having those 100 messenger conversations a week because it gives me ideas on what type of content I need to do in order to move people forward faster. So if you are putting out value bombs and you figure out they don't need this type of value bomb, they need something else, create that value bomb and then use that value bomb as a test to see if other people want it.
Mm, okay,
Like a
got it.
lot of my value bombs that are the most successful are not the ones that I created as a value bomb. It was resources I created for clients. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, because we have so many Loom videos, we have so many different things just to pretty much just give out documents and everything that we have for our clients, and I I I just have to pretty much just experiment with it, and I think I kill the ad maybe too fast before the right people see it, like you said, because I'm targeting so specific for like holistic practitioners. So
Yes, 100%. And that's another question that I, get asked a lot is Laurel, I'm looking at the likes on my actual content and it does not fit my ideal clients. That is normal in the very beginning when Facebook is still trying to find your ideal client. Like you have to remember this, right? if we place an ad and we have a fairly new ad account and not a lot of data, you can put all of the detailed targeting that you want in there. Facebook is still going to have to try to find your ideal client. And along the way of trying to find your ideal like conversion rate, whether they're trying to optimize for video views or conversion, it doesn't matter, right? It's optimized based on, like, if you're doing a reel, it's going to be optimized based on engagement. And until a certain amount of people have engaged, meaning clicked or commented, Facebook's going to take a while. And that's why, like, I created that 7-day flywheel, because I like a 7-day, like a full 7 days of giving something a try. A lot of people like to pull things way too soon, but you have to think about this, right? If I have a new account and I'm optimizing for 15-second through plays, right? That's how Facebook optimizes power content videos. Until I have about 300, 400 through plays, Facebook probably doesn't have enough data to even go find more people that are similar to the people that have watched 15 seconds or more. If I'm running a conversion multiplier as a static image ad, Facebook's optimizing it for engagement, right? Based on likes and clicks and comments. We have to get enough of those from the right people before Facebook will actually optimize it for that. One of the ways to get around that is if you guys already have a warm audience, whether it's an email list or something, that's why I love posting it first on my Instagram, because I've got a very warm audience on Instagram. So if I post a reel on Instagram, I'm going to get a whole bunch of people commenting. And then what do you think happens when I turn it into an ad? Facebook already has the data of the people who've clicked on it. So if you have an email list and you send out your power content video to your email list for people to watch it, what do you think that's going to do? It's going to speed up the process that Facebook can find more ideal clients who are just like the people who already watched the video.
Wow, that's a
Right?
good. Yeah.
Yeah. And another thing, right? Because I've been seeing this floating around the $7 program, is that Facebook and Instagram just started this new DM rule that everyone is freaking out about, right? Have you guys seen that floating around? That here's the deal. They did that a long time ago. That they implemented that in January. That's where that message request folder in the spam folder comes from. And so if you implement this strategy long term, you're going to get a whole bunch of inbound messages. So you want to go in and change your settings in both Instagram and Facebook so that you can accept request, like you can get messages from people who aren't a contact in your phone. So that's step one. Go in. I don't know where my phone is. I would show you guys, but go into your phone. It's going to be in the settings, message settings, and just tell Instagram. Mine was already set to anyone can message me. So I don't know if like it defaults to that or what, but I know people can turn it off, and that's fine. Those people don't want to be bothered anyway. But here's something that I have slightly changed whenever I am commenting, because remember, when people are commenting for something, you always want to comment back to them. And so one of the things that I've been saying is, hey, I'm sending it over to your DM right now. But one, make sure that you follow me, because people who don't follow me can't get my DMs. And so make sure, one, you follow me, and two, make sure that it didn't end up in the message request folder. And that's just how I'm commenting on people's who are commenting. And so what that does is it's gonna make them go follow me, and it's gonna ensure that they go check that message request folder. So that's how to get around the quote new rules, even though those new rules have been in place for a while. For some reason, it's just circulating now. But that's how you get around things like that. If people don't want to be messaged, that's fine. They don't. But most of the time, I found that people who comment, they don't mind me like messaging them because they've asked me to message them. But this is why you should never message people who just like your content. I see that asked in the $7 program all the time is, if people are liking my content, should I reach out to them? No, that is the fastest way to get people to not like and share your content is if you bother them if they haven't been asked to be bothered. Let's see. I'm going to go Amanda and Emmanuel because they just joined Lean on Laurel, and then I'm going to go Stacy, who's also in Lean on Laurel, and then Andrea, Samantha, Eric, and Manuel and Stefan.
Hi, Laurel.
Good morning. Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Well, first I wanted to apologize for our voices and our background. We just moved to Brazil for a few months, a couple of days ago, and we got sick. So
Oh, no worries. You're fine.
So just like a quick little background, okay? The problem that I help people with is that they're not making choices that prioritize their well-being and happiness.
Okay.
And the ads are for, well, the conversion multipliers and power content is meant for people who are feeling burned out, living on autopilot, and then overly stressed,
Mhm. So
lacking
what are
sleep.
what are all the problems that are causing that situation?
Sorry, the
The
problems.
problems that are causing these situations.
And that's where I'm kind of feeling not stuck, but they all cause each other's problems, like a circle.
Right, but what's the first problem? Where does the circle begin? What's the first symptom?
The first symptom is that they're overly stressed,
Right, but what's causing that?
burnout, living on
What? No,
autopilot.
no, let's nope. That's all very broad, right? Like we need to
Okay.
get like we need people to say, this is me, right? Like so if I'm stressed, let's back up a bit. Who's your ideal client?
The ideal client are, well, females between age 35 and 55. They are ambitious professionals,
Okay, so the like CEO types.
CEOs, CFOs, possibly
Okay.
even in the dental field.
Okay, cool. So let's just take like a CEO, right?
Mhm.
What is causing that specific CEO to be stressed?
The fact that they're overworking, they're working longer hours than needed
Yep. Why are they working longer hours than needed?
due to high demand.
Okay.
They feel the pressure to over
Yeah.
deliver to keep up with family and work conditions and
Okay. So like a CEO that's working an additional 3 hours a day because of the demand.
Yeah.
You see how much more specific that is?
Yeah.
Like CEOs who are working 3 hours or more over their typical workday, and are stressed. So how do you solve that problem?
Well, I solved that problem by offering an 8-minute guided meditation to start reducing their stress. So that way they can bring their mind down to on a more calm level and see things with more clarity.
Okay. Does that give them any time back? Like if they're less stressed, do they still have to work 3 hours or more over their time?
I don't believe so.
it's like they're shifting their lenses at
Yeah.
least, you know?
Right. It'll probably increase their performance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you see how we're looking at the outcome that's on the other side of the problem that you're solving is like,
Mhm.
hey, if you're a CEO that's working more than 3 hours over your traditional workday, what if I told you that an 8-minute meditation can literally give you back 2 of those hours if you just did this over the next 7 days?
That's great. It's
But you
amazing.
see how deep, but here's the thing. Then you
Mhm.
go and you do that same piece of content. Hey, are you a female dentist who is working, X amount of extra hours every single week? What if I told you that an 8-minute meditation can not only lower your stress, but increase your performance so that you can work half of the hours that you're working right now? So you see how we're just taking that same problem, but we're switching the avatar because
Mhm.
that's what most of you guys, because I think a lot of people think that when I tell them who do you want to target, I think a lot of people think that I'm telling them you can only work with one type of person. That's not. We're just creating one piece of content for this one type of person.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So my question was, because I have people responding to the conversion multiplier for being stressed.
Mhm.
And when I send them a message, ask them qualifying questions to engage in the field,
Mhm.
and after that, I also comment on their comment to let them know that I just sent them a message. Most of them don't respond.
So are they seeing your message?
Some I some yes, some
Okay. So
respond.
what is the message that you're sending them? So let's reverse engineer this. What's the value bomb you're sending? What's the value bomb that they're asking for?
So the value bomb is the 8-minute guided meditation to reduce stress and anxiety.
Okay. And what's the first message that you're sending them?
So, hey, Emmanuel here. I'm messaging you because you asked for my 8-minute guided meditation. I have a few different options based on the current struggle you're experiencing. So tell me
Mhm.
which one of the following scenarios fits you best. And
Mhm.
there's A, you feel overwhelmed with work deadlines and can't seem to catch a break. B, you're dealing with personal challenges that are causing emotional distress. C, you have constant feeling of anxiety without a specific cause. D, you're struggling with a lack of sleep and it's affecting your daily life. E, negative thinking and
Okay, let's stop right there.
Okay.
Too long, too many options.
Why are there too many options? Because you're not being targeted in your initial value bomb. So you're having to be, if you're this, or you're this, or you're this. And so by the time the person reads this, they're like, this is not for me.
Yeah.
See, that's why it's important. That's why it's important to go super, super narrow, because sometimes it's more important to go narrow and get less comments than it is to get too many comments and then not enough responses.
A lot of people are commenting like B, C, D, E.
Yes.
Like,
it's because you're giving them it's because you're giving them too much room.
Yeah. One other person answered and she's like, oh, I can't sleep because I have a 9-month-old baby. So.
And that doesn't necessarily fit what you were trying to call out. You see,
No.
That's the difference. So I had a Lean on Laurel student the other day. He got really excited. He's like, my value bomb got over 1,000 responses. I was like, I love that for you, but I really hate that for you because it's too much. Like, you don't want to have, like, if you have 1,000 people asking for your value bomb in a short amount of time, you probably went super, super broad and you're going to have to talk to a lot of unqualified people.
Yeah.
I just jump in really quickly because I have some like a burning desire for this.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. So Kate, for those of you guys who don't know, she's in Lean on Laurel too. She actually helps B2C sales people. So if you are struggling with B2C sales, Kate right there is your go-to.
Thank you, Laurel. So just for you guys, this is just to stack really on what Laurel is saying. I think you still need to go deeper even than you are, because for me, like super busy female execs are on the run from their feelings. They're avoiding something that they really don't want to look at. And I also have a dating offer, and this was my target audience. So it's usually like naming the thing that they don't even know they're running from. And they're like, holy fuck, that's me. Oh my God, you just busted my bubble, right? So I think you need to get more specific and go way, way, way deeper into the emotion of like the real reason behind the real reason that you think it is. And that is going to be the thing that you just like keep hitting that like a hammer, and you'll get a better result, I think. And I think that's pretty much what Laurel was saying, but I just wanted to offer that because I know that niche really, really well. So yeah, anyway, I hope that's helpful, but I just wanted to jump in because I was just like, I need to share that stuff.
Thank you, Kate.
Thank you so much.
Oh, that's really good. And I want you guys to, because like a lot of times, and this is what I always tell you guys, use the Facebook group a lot. Like if you have a value bomb that's not converting, chances are there's people in the group who are your ideal clients or work with them and can give you guys excellent like feedback, like Kate just did, because that is like some people know, like already know your target audience and can be super helpful. And so that's one of the best ways to, really engage the field is, just posting in the Facebook group, because we do have a really great community of people who are experts in their own right too. Let's see, Miss Stacy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello. Very helpful. Thank you. So the thing that I am taking away today is the one thing that I can do to get them results the fastest. And I think that's been my mistake up until now. And so my value bomb is a difficult conversation template, which is not usually what they need, just like what you teach. And so my ideal client is avoiding conflict because she shuts down. I'm in the relationship niche. And so really what I tell them, through the steps is that they don't have a conversation problem. They have a connection problem because they're conflict pattern. And so my thought is I haven't done this with the one thing to get them results. And, in the past, what I've done is kind of have them do like an appreciation challenge to kind of shift the dynamic of the relationship, but that's 5 days worth. Is that something that would be feasible? Because it doesn't seem like that would be a quick result.
What is there something that you have them do before the 5-day work? Or do you need, so I'll actually kind of show them what we talked about, because I know Stacy, Kate, a couple of other people who are in LOL, you saw me teach this the other day with Nick, the case framework, right? What we're trying to do with these value bombs, guys, is we're trying to get as much information about our client that we're having the conversation with so that we can present the phone call as a solution. Okay. And so as we're creating these value bombs, we have to figure out, how is this value bomb going to help me get the person in Messenger? That's step one, right? Because we want to have the conversation. But what can we say in Messenger that's going to give us enough data to where we can quickly diagnose something that's going to be able to get them to the phone call? So the reason I asked Stacy that question is there a step that we can do instead of making them go do something for 5 days? Is there something that we can get them to do in 3 minutes, like fill out a quick thing? Is there something that we can get them to do in 20? My favorite is 24 to 48 hours to get them to do something to give us the data that we need in order to have enough to diagnose the problem so that we can offer the phone call as the solution. So that's all we're trying to do, is use these value bombs to get the conversation, right? And then the conversation, how do we extract enough data that we need in order to truly diagnose how we could help them?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I send them off to take a quiz to find out what their conflict pattern is. And then typically if I've gotten them that far, then I'm booking the call after that.
Okay. So can they do that in like a quick, like how long does it take to take the quiz?
It's like 2 minutes.
Yeah, I would do that. I love like
Mhm.
quick little assessments, little spreadsheets. Like if you're in the fitness space, like having them fill out like a calculator kind of thing, like any type of like quick diagnostic. Like one of the quick diagnostics I use is a profit projection calculator. So that like if people are ready to join Lean on Laurel, or they want me to help them like figure out what's wrong with their funnel, if they put 5 numbers into this one spreadsheet, I immediately know exactly what to fix in their funnel. And I'm just like, hey, I'll shoot you a quick, if I were doing calls, I would just say, hey, would it be worth a 15-minute call if I could show you what to change in your funnel? I just do it through a Loom video. For those of you guys who like closing in Messenger, just do it through a Loom video. But what you're trying to do is in this Messenger conversation, you're trying to get them to tell you enough information so that you can offer a solution, whether it's through a Loom video or through booking a phone call. But yeah, Stacy, thank you for asking that, because I would honestly, I would do something that would stick to, how could I get the information that I need with 2 minutes? And if that gets them onto a phone call, I would do that all day long.
Yeah, that's what I've done. I just booked a call just a little bit ago, but I had one gal that's saying, she didn't want to do the call. She said, to be honest, texting is better. And so what I thought is I have a marriage assessment, which is the next step I have them do before they book the call. And so I think I just test it there and see.
Yeah, and because you've closed people in Messenger before, haven't you, without having to get them on a call? No,
Not on high ticket.
not on high ticket. Okay,
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see. Maybe today's going to be your first day.
There you go. I'll test it and find out.
A lot of, I will say this, a lot of people who are ready to buy, they don't want to hop on a call. They will buy in Messenger. Like a lot of the people that I talk to, they don't want to waste their time on it. They know they already, like if I in that Messenger conversation can give them right clarity, there's that C word. If I can give them clarity and certainty that I'm the one to help them solve that problem. Like for instance, right? Like if they fill out that calculator with the 5 profit projections for their funnel, and I'm like, look, I can tell by looking at your numbers that not enough people are pressing play on your VSL. Would it be worth, a 15-minute call and I'll literally write that VSL for you? Or if I'm like, hey, like if you join Lean on Laurel, like I will literally not only help you dial in this VSL, because I already see that it's this part of your VSL and that's going to take more than just a quick conversation. It's easy to pull them into the program because I've already given them certainty that I know what the problem is and I have a solution to solve it in a certain amount of time.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yep.
All right, great. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Let's see. Andrea.
Hey there. Actually, good question earlier, or there were lots of good questions, because I was wondering if a mini audit is a good idea. So I guess you would say yes. It's not really my question, but
yeah, I probably wouldn't necessarily use it as the value bomb, but you can use it in the Messenger conversation. Unless it's like a quick audit of like, remind me what you're offering?
You mean as a value bump or as
Yeah, like if you
as a
want
offer?
to, because sometimes quick audits work
But it's
as a
about lead
value bump.
generation. Sorry, lead generation. So help them to get more leads, for example. So I can I ask them 5 questions to say, you know, what are you currently doing? And I do an audit and give you a solution.
Okay. Yeah, because if you said this quick 5-minute audit could get you 5 new leads in the next 24 hours, would it be worth your time?
Yeah. I like that
It
one.
could work in that. It could work in that way, but if it's like some long kind of like assessment, I tend to like. But if it's like a quick like marketing audit, those work really well, right? Like, hey, is it worth a 5-minute audit for me to fix? You know, is it worth a 5-minute audit to get 50% more people to your website in the next 24 hours?
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. It works really well for personal development stuff. It tends to not, depending on what it is. But yeah.
Okay. But I actually wanted to ask something else. So if you post organically and you don't have a big engaged following, where do you post best?
Everywhere.
Okay.
I just put everything everywhere because here's what happens. Okay. So whenever I first started, I was literally just posting everything everywhere. And one of the things that I started to see was like one day Nick was looking at my YouTube channel and Nick's like, do you know your numbers on your YouTube channel are freaking phenomenal? And I'm like, I don't pay attention to YouTube. He's like, you should. He's like, you have more audience on YouTube than you do right here on Facebook. And I'm like, what? But it was because I wasn't paying attention to it. I was literally just putting my content there because if someone sees an ad, you don't know where they're going to go look you up. They can go look you up on LinkedIn, right? Whenever I released my book, for some reason, everyone wanted to go and look me up on LinkedIn, and I hate LinkedIn. For those of you guys who are close to me, y'all know how much I have a disdain for LinkedIn. And because so many people were telling me, hey, you should post more on LinkedIn. I bought your book and I went to look you up and I couldn't find like much content there. And I got enough people to tell me that there. I was like, oh, fudge. I got to start putting my content on LinkedIn. So that's why I always say like do content and just put it everywhere. Like if you have to schedule it, that's fine. You can use like, you know, all of these like schedulers or whatever. But when I do a piece of content, I put it everywhere, including like X and Twitter.
And can you put it also in third-party groups that would fit without necessarily the value bump part?
I don't post things in people's groups. I rather engage in someone's groups because like a lot of times people know, like we know, like I know when some people are trying to use my group as a lead gen and it just rubs me the wrong way.
Okay.
Even though the person is quote giving value, I know what they're doing.
Thank you.
Let's see. Chris says only 4% of the users post on LinkedIn. A fun fact I figured out this weekend. Awesome. I like that. I like fun facts. Yeah, I freaking hate LinkedIn. I know. It's a good platform to be on. I know. I every time I log in, it's just I get anxiety. Samantha.
Hi.
Hello. So we're gonna go all the way to Kaiser. I'm gonna stay a little late today. I usually don't do this past 90 days, but I see my girl Phyllis there, and I can't not have Miss Phyllis there. So I'm gonna go all the way to Kaiser, and then we're gonna end with that. Okay, Samantha, shoot.
Okay, so I'm trying to build an offer which is tangible, but what I do is pretty kind of intangible sometimes. So I help predominantly coaches who have kind of got trapped in they're not magnetic to their clients because they're not being authentic or they're not showing up. So I had a client the other day who she had an offer, it wasn't selling. We did some energy work, and then she sold like 5 spaces into her new program like the next day. I don't want to get into like I'm a sales coach or a marketing coach because that's not where my zone of genius is. I can do it, but it's not really.
So I'm going to ask, you know, the question's coming. What problem do you solve?
It's about people being able to like back themselves, like trust themselves and believe in themselves so that they have the confidence. So when they're putting that offer out, it feels really good to them and like people want to buy from them because they're.
So the problem that you solve is people don't have confidence in the offer that they're putting out.
Or they don't, they maybe don't even want to put it out. Like they've been selling it for a long time and it's not really got any energy in them. It hasn't got any energy in
So
them.
the problem is they're not in love with their offer.
Yes.
Okay. No, that's good. What are all of the problems that are causing them to not be in love with their offer?
Problems that are causing that. Well, the offer isn't relevant to who they are anymore.
That's a good problem. Yeah, that's a good problem. What's another problem?
They're trying to speak to somebody who's like 10 steps behind them. They're not challenging themselves by like being in their genius and doing something like new and exciting for themselves.
Okay, it's not the offer. They've just outgrown their offer. At the end of the day, I think that's the problem, is they've outgrown their offer.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, what are all of the symptoms of that?
They are putting out lots of low ticket things to try and generate interest so they can get people into their bigger offer.
Yep. I know. See, but you see how like more specific we're getting into, because that is a problem. Like, people have outgrown their offer. They get bored and they're like, I'm going to put out all of these low ticket offers because it's something new and exciting. I see it all the time. And then it ends up bankrupting them because they haven't done the thing that works. Like, so yeah. So what's another symptom of that? That's good. See how deep we're getting, guys? Like, we're getting like to the actual things that people are experiencing.
So they're thinking about other marketing strategies, so ways to get more and more people into their world.
Yeah, they're
And
but yeah, they're generating leads for an offer they hate. Doesn't that sound but it sounds silly when we say it out loud, but that's literally like that's a real problem.
yeah, and trying to do all these different streams, like, oh, I'm going to go and do speaking, or a different strategy. Oh, I'm going to go on LinkedIn, or like they're trying to do more.
So I would recommend doing that exercise that we went in today, and now you have some really good starting points to where you can create some content around.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Epic. So the solution on the other side is that they fall in love with their offer. That then the offer themselves.
Right, but what's your solution? So they've outgrown. So let's say they've outgrown their offer. So the way that you would do that is, okay, so the first symptom or problem, micro problem, right? They're trying to solve the problem by putting out a whole bunch of low ticket offers. What's your solution? Then you identify why that doesn't work, and then you present what is your solution that will help them with their problem.
Okay, so create a high ticket offer that they want to die for. Like, that's the only thing.
Create a new offer to regenerate love for an offer. Yeah.
Okay. It's so simple when you do it. Thank you.
Yeah, you just kind of have to take a step back. A lot of you guys, like I said, are trying to hit it from a 30,000 foot view. And really you need to go to like a 5 foot view, like, what are they experiencing down here? Like, that's going to make them say, whew, I'm really feeling this today.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Eric Johnson. I don't know why I felt the need to say your full name.
It's actually Johansson. You were close.
Johansson.
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate you taking my call or my question. I'm relatively new to your program, but I'm really digging in now and trying to prep for my first video. So what we do is we have a software solution that provides automation between QuickBooks and their invoicing and getting paid and that kind of thing. What I'm struggling with is, how do I offer...
is it like Gusto?
I've heard of Gusto, but I don't. Well, Gusto is a payment processor, I think, for restaurants.
Well, no, we use Gusto to get people paid. It works with QuickBooks and I'm just trying to get a clear vision of what.
So it's basically a software solution that automates invoicing. It gets our clients paid faster, and it reduces like admin time of having to double reconciliation.
See, that sounds exactly like Gusto. That's why I was asking.
Okay, good. So what I'm struggling with is coming up with a value bomb that somebody can, without actually becoming a client and all that, can go and do and receive kind of that value of some solution. I just can't.
So what is so let's back this up, right? What problem are you solving?
So the problem we solve is we help our clients get paid faster.
Nope. You already answering it incorrect. Remember, if you answer that question, say, I help so-and-so, you're already doing it wrong. What is the problem that you're solving?
See, I'm too close to it.
So the problem that you solve is employees aren't getting paid fast enough. Or is it another problem?
Our client is not getting paid fast enough. In other words, their manual invoicing and mailing out invoices, things like that, is causing them to not get paid.
Delays in payment is the problem. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Payment delays. Okay, cool. So what are they experiencing because of that?
Cash flow issues.
Oh, okay. How do you,
the nature of our typical client is they're a smaller business, and so cash flow is critical, and it can.
So I guess I
payroll.
don't understand. I don't understand where your software comes in if they don't have cash to pay people.
Well, okay. So, for example, a typical client of ours is a contractor. It's a large ticket item, and if they don't get paid when they're expecting to get paid, because their payment setup is so janky that customers can't pay through like a payment, like a link they can click or something like that. They have to mail in a check, things like that. It can cause delays in them getting their money.
Okay.
Eric, can I step in? I don't know if I can.
Hang on 1 second. Let's go through the thing, and I'll let you step in. I'm trying to get I'm trying to get the information I need. Go ahead, Eric.
Okay, so really, it's like I think cost of credit card processing is one of the big things that we can solve.
Okay, so you just literally listed 3, like you're kind of going all over the place. Like, let's pick one. Like, what is one problem that your client is experiencing?
Yeah, it's not getting paid quick enough from their customer.
Yeah, because I think Finance Mike is right. He said attack the cash flow angle. I like that angle a lot. So there's no cash flow, right? They have the cash flow coming in, but they don't have it in order to pay their people, right? If we're understanding the problem correctly.
When you say pay their people,
right? Because people are sending in checks and all of this, there's a delay in getting paid, and so their other bills don't get paid because there's a lag in their payment.
Correct. A lot of small businesses are just kind of living hand to mouth, and so when they're hoping to get paid from one of their clients and it's delayed by a week.
Have you ever seen the commercials for Chime?
Yeah.
The app? Is that essentially what your software can do, is allowed to get people paid faster so that they can pay their bills before they actually get paid?
I'd have to look at that more. I think it's a little bit different though.
But you see how like clear their promise is, like, hey, you don't get paid until this day. We will loan you the money so that you can do this. And I'm not saying that's what you do, but I'm trying to get you to explain it so that like we can come up with a good value bomb. Because like if you said something like, look, is there a lag of payment within your business? You need to pay these people, but your client's payment hasn't gotten there. What if in the next 24 hours, we could solve that problem to ensure you never miss a payment with your vendors?
Okay. I like that. And so what would actually be the value bomb that I would send them then?
Want to see our process.
So and that's kind of what I was thinking, because I've got it's like a 24-minute video that walks people through that entire process.
I wouldn't do a 24-minute video. I would try to like do it like, hey, a 5-minute video that will ensure you never miss a payment with your vendor again.
I've got a 5-minute video prepped as well. So I mean, I can go either way.
Keep in mind what I said a while ago. Most of the time, the value bomb that you're getting people to raise their hand for is not the thing that they need. I think a more powerful thing would be just to have the conversation with them. Don't send them a video. I would literally just have the conversation with them and enroll them.
Well, I'll be honest with you. That's what I was thinking, but I was thinking I kind of need to have that value bomb
remember, most of the time the value bomb is not the thing that they actually need. We're just using the value bomb as bait to have a conversation with our ideal clients. I'll give you guys a very like plain example, right? So I had a student who was in the ads blitz a couple of months ago, and she owns a hair remove. She owns a salon, right? And their claim to fame is that they created some type of sugar recipe for hair removal, right? And I told her, I said, your value bomb should actually be the recipe for that sugar. And she was like, but why would people come to me if I'm giving away our secret sauce as to why people come to our hair removal. I said, no. I said, you're looking at it the wrong way. The value bomb is just to get your ideal clients to raise your hand. So once you get someone in Messenger, you say this, hey, I'm messaging you because you wanted our secret sauce to sugaring so that you can, have less hair or whatever. Just so you know, here's the recipe, but just so you know, most people burn themselves by doing this because they do this part wrong. And it takes 4 hours for this sugar to cure. By the way, if you want to come in during your lunch hour on Tuesday, I can get you in and out within 10 minutes. What does that sound like a better option than you trying to do it yourself?
Yeah.
What do you think people would say? Remember, the value bomb is just to get people, your ideal clients, in a messenger conversations. It's not always to actually give them the thing that they're asking for. Because a lot of times they think that they need that, but what they actually need is they just need their hair removed.
Okay, so that aligns with something that I was thinking in the sense that in the video that they, the initial video that they watch, I show them the solution, and then they just raise their hand saying, yeah, I want that solution, and it leads to the conversation.
Mm-hmm. That's your power content. Yeah.
Is that legitimate thinking?
Well, that's your power content.
Yeah.
That's why you need both. Your power content is to give people clarity and certainty over time. Think about this. Your value bombs are to get conversations with people, and in those you're going to get your 2 to 3% of people, right? Because it's an offer. Like, people are raising their hand. It's a direct response. Where the video is meant to build that audience over time of people who are going to raise their hand. So there's 2 different strategies that are at play. Value bombs can get you a fast result if you can get to those 2 to 3% of people who are ready to buy now. The power content builds the invisible list that's going to buy over time and create that conveyor belt effect.
Okay. All right. That's good clarity.
Yeah.
All right.
Manuel.
Hey, Laurel.
Hey.
So the question I have is, so I tried, I think 6, 7 value conversion multipliers so far with no results. And one of the things I did was I first posted on my personal Instagram page, but then I created a new business one.
How long have you been doing the strategy?
On and off, to be honest. I mean, I haven't been consistent with it.
Yeah, that's the problem right there.
So the question I have specifically is, so my Instagram account, it has like 3 posts only. So I was thinking doing a lot of conversion multipliers wouldn't be the most productive thing. Like, first to like actually do power content that would like fill it up, and like if anyone wants to go like and check out the profile, it's gonna look legit. And then to start like doing conversion.
You guys have a lot of you guys make it so much harder on yourselves than it actually is. Like just do it, man. Why don't you just do the strategy the way it's written?
Like the
I mean, it's just it's an honest question. Like,
no, I'm just
what is holding you back? Like, there's something here.
Like, honestly, between client work and family life and
nope, not an excuse. Guess what? I got all that shit too.
No, I mean, I
literally did this when I had a full-time job.
I honestly have used that as an excuse to procrastinate, and and like each time that a value bomb hasn't converted, I procrastinate even more, like doing the next one, and yeah, that's been an issue as well. To be honest.
You know what? Your competition is doing 2 or 3 times for every one that you're doing.
My what?
Your competition. They're getting out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more than you're doing.
Okay,
like,
so
I'm gonna be honest, and this is not just for Manuel, this is for everyone sitting in the room. You either want this or you don't. That's at the end of the day, you have to leave that at the door. You either want this or you don't. That's it. That is literally, this is gonna be some tough love. Like, if you're not, think about this, guys. How many of you guys have read my book? There's an explicit phrase that I say in there. So excuse my French, but I say fuck tomorrow, because you know why I say that? Because if I don't do it today, one of my competitors are going to do it today and I'm going to wait till tomorrow and they're going to get 2 times the amount of shit done than I do. Like, it is not getting easier, guys. This is getting harder. The longer you procrastinate, the harder it's going to be for you to get your foot in the door. I'm telling you guys right now, we have to be consistent. We have to do this. And Manuel, I know you show up. I know you stick your, the conversion multipliers in the Ask Laurel thread. We need to be better. We have, like, if we want this, we just have to do the work. Guys, it took me over 200 ads to get the 12 that worked to fill this program. Over 200. Like, this is it. Like, I will be honest with you guys. The barrier to entry to be successful is so easy. Y'all are blowing it for yourselves. Honestly. Because there's so much shitty content out there and there are so many people who are not doing the work. All you have to do, I promise you, all you have to do, it's so easy. This is why I'm sitting here making 7 figures a year, because I just show up. That's all I'm doing. Have you guys noticed? I don't have a funnel. I don't even have all of the things that people say you need. I literally just do content and 2-step posts. That's it. That has gotten me over $3 million over the last 6 years by doing that. I have not even spent $150,000 in ads yet. But I show up every day. I show up where my clients are. I show up outside that door. I don't just sit on my computer. I go out and I talk to my ideal clients in the real world. I know, like right now, like, remember, I warned you guys at the beginning of this call, we're going to get some tough love, but really, guys, you guys are blowing it for yourselves. Like, so Manuel, what can I do to help you? That's literally going to get you on, because like, you're a good guy and I see your content. It's not bad. I think honestly, you're in the middle of the conveyor belt and you're not giving yourself enough time because you start and stop.
Yeah, that happens. I mean, the thing you can do to help me is, should I focus on just like putting the next conversion multiplier week after week until something pops up, or should I be doing content as well to like build that other part of the conveyor belt and like build the trust and all of that?
You know, there's a strategy inside the $7 program that literally gives you a day-by-day play of every fucking thing that you guys need to be doing. Why do you guys ask me these questions? Like, and I'm not fussing at Manuel. I'm fussing at everyone in the room that always asks me that. What should I be doing? There's literally inside my book, day 1, day 2, day 3, in the program, day 1, like there's a freaking structure. Like what is complicated about doing one thing a day? Like, I'm being serious. Like, there's something that's stopping you, because it is laid out in the program day by day. There's a 90-day program that literally has one assignment. And like, I have given you guys every tool that you need in order to do this. Manuel, what is the problem? What do I need to help you solve?
I apologize. Please give me a sec. So much.
Yeah, yes. But guys, do you guys understand this? Like, this is not just for Manuel. This is for, I'm asking every single person here. Like, I did an interview the other day, Astriana, give her a hand for like volunteering that interview. Wasn't that freaking good? But what did she say? She admitted to herself, you know what? I wasn't being consistent. And one day I decided to be consistent. And what? It happened the day that she decided to be consistent.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm back.
That's okay.
One of the problems is, so I had $150 a month of ad spend. So if I do the one thing a day, in a week, my budget is gone.
Did you watch the video where it shows you how to like redo your budget when you have like a low, like, if I only had $150, I would probably ping pong. Like, I even said it at the beginning of this call. If I only had $5 a day, I would do this strategy. So every single day I would be doing one conversion multiplier every single day. And I'd be doing it organically. I would be like trying to figure out, how do I get more people to my profile? I'd be hanging out in Facebook groups, like searching, like who has this problem that I can solve, and just like solving people's problems. I still do that. Like, I go into all of these Facebook groups and I just type in Facebook ads, and I just like let the Facebook group categorize every problem that I solve. And I just go and I talk to people, and it brings people to my profile. And then they see my 2-step post pinned to the top, and they're like, oh, I want that. Like, if we only have a little bit of budget to spend, who are you helping? Remind me, Manuel, who are you helping?
Yeah, I'm helping business owners online who are not making enough from their email list. So I help them turn their email list into a source of profit, basically.
Okay. That's awesome.
I-
How much are you making from your email list?
Me personally?
Yeah.
No, I haven't built it yet.
What? That's your thing. Why have you not built an email list for yourself?
Because I'm putting myself together this year.
No, that's
So
cool. No,
I was building the skill first of how to actually do it, and then building the whole infrastructure, which is
that's awesome. Have you ever done direct outreach? Dude, that costs free. I will say that like cold outreach, there's I did that in the beginning. I have no shame. I cold messaged a whole bunch of brick and mortar businesses in the very beginning. I literally got the best. Here's the thing, and this will help you. This will help you, Manuel, and this will help someone in the room, I hope. I got the best. You know how I told you guys I hated LinkedIn? I hate LinkedIn because I get so much cold DMs, right? But yesterday, I got the best cold DM from this guy who messaged me and said, "Hey, Laurel, I think all of the content on your YouTube channel is banging." He's like, "I was so inspired by your content." He's like, "I wrote this YouTube script for you." He's like, "You can take it." He's like, "You don't have to give me credit." He's like, "I just think that this would do very well on your channel. And if you decide to use it," he's like, "can I create your thumbnail and do the SEO for the video? And we can test it against some of your other content." And he's like, "This is not a pitch." He's like, I'm curious because you do such great content." That is how you do a great cold email or a cold DM, right? Because so many people, Manuel, if you need cash flow, you need clients, I would be hitting in addition to putting out content daily. Because guess what I did? What do you think's the first thing I did when I got that DM from him? I went and checked out his content to see if this dude was legit. I was like, this is such a great cold DM. I was like, I can't wait to see what type of, and guess what? He had good content. I did not take him up on it, but you know what? I made him a list of 6 people I knew that needed help with YouTube, and I gave him 6 people. We have to be hungry. If we're hungry, like we have to, like think about this. If I needed to get 5 people today, what would I do? And do those things. Even if you don't need 5 clients today, act as if you do. You will never go hungry for clients.
Awesome. Thanks, Laura.
Yeah, you're very welcome. I know I kind of pushed him around a little bit, but guys, like I love all of you guys and I want us all to win together, right? Like I literally want us all to win. I want everyone to be like, I didn't have to pay Laurel more than X amount of money and she made me a freaking millionaire. Right? Like that's my whole goal is I want us all to win. Like if we like can all win, we all win. Like when you win, I win. Stefan.
Hey Laurel, good stuff. That GPT prompt is banging. I just tried it out. I can't, it's the most gangsterous thing ever.
Yeah, you'll have to thank Eve and Crystal for building that.
Oh my
I am not
gosh.
technically inclined to do that.
So so real quick, so where I'm at, I've kind of like Manuel, been in and out. I've been with you since April or May. I've had one piece of power content that's been running $5 a day. It's been doing awesome. I've been getting some responses, but I know the power content, that's not what it's made for. But I've been getting some responses back and
So
messaging.
you're getting comments on your power content?
Yeah.
That
And
is awesome. See,
people asking for the value bomb on
no,
it.
that's
Every
awesome.
once
That's
in a
what
while.
it's a bonus. A lot of people don't get that bonus. So first off, congratulations on that because that is a win in itself.
Okay. So my question is, so I mean that's the only ad I've been spending the $5 a day. I have a little bit higher budget, I would say maybe around $500 a month now, that I can do. But obviously I need to do either some value bombs or conversion multipliers. So my first question is just going back to you've been talking about organic and this and that. So I have my Instagram page. I have a business Instagram page, obviously, to run ads. That's professional. Do I need to convert that to a personal page, or
I don't understand.
so because
You probably know more about this. I just have an Instagram account. I don't know what kind of Instagram account I have. I just have one
Okay.
and I run ads to it.
Well, to run ads, it needs to be, I guess, a professional ad or whatever. But for some reason, I've heard it looks different. Like the algorithm doesn't make it look whatever.
Man, y'all worry about this algorithm way too
All
much.
right.
If you're
All right.
using ads, you don't have to worry about the algorithm. As a
Okay.
matter of fact, the more you run ads, the algorithm likes you even more and sends more people to
Okay.
you.
Okay. So that part doesn't matter whether it's professional.
Nah,
Okay.
at least I
All right.
don't think so. I don't
Okay.
worry about it, at least. I don't know.
So my post, what I'm saying is, like, when I post stuff, like I see you post like personal, you're playing a guitar or whatever. So like I can post that stuff on my business page.
Hell yeah. How many of you guys see that I play guitar and you're like, oh, she's pretty cool. Yeah, we want to anything you know how do people teach this? I think they call it like your pillars.
Mhm.
Like, what are the 4 things that you're going to post about on social media? And I typically post travel, my dogs, my, like kind of dogs, family, lifestyle, business. And then I like to drink whiskey and wine. And those are the 4 things that I pretty much post about. Like, we can't just post all business all the time. That makes for a very boring account. At least in my opinion, I don't know.
Okay. So my question is this is, so what I do, my niche, I work with business owners and investors. We do tax strategies. I'm a tax strategist. So we don't do the accounting. We have accountants that do that. We work with structures, trusts, different things to help people with taxes. So the value bomb. So previously I've been really good at VSLs. I can put a VSL together, the content works great, and we get book calls. That's kind of like our end game.
Mm-hmm.
I need to I want to kind of refocus on that versus the messenger conversation. I know the messenger conversations are important, but how do I direct people to the VSL? I mean, that's the
Have
end.
you gone through the onboarding? Because it's pretty clear in the onboarding that that's phase 3.
Okay, so I can skip phase 1 since I
Yeah,
already have a VSL.
yeah, like if everyone just went through the onboarding, they would
Okay.
know exactly in the program where they
Okay.
need to be.
Okay. Well, I mean, I know where I need to be because obviously I need to have conversations with people, but I've kind of already been through the fire. I know my market niche and
If
everything.
you can afford, here's
So,
the thing. If you can afford to run a VSL, run a VSL. That's phase 3. The reason that messenger conversations exist is because a lot of people don't have the budget to run a VSL because VSLs are the most expensive types of advertising. And it causes a lot of friction. So when you need conversations, right? If you need cash flow, conversations are the fastest path to cash. So why would you put 4 points of friction in front of a conversation with a VSL?
so could
That's how you decide which strategy is best for you.
So what I'm saying is, like, my value bomb would be like a VSL. Like I already have, hey, here's the information, watch this video. Could that be the deliverable of the conversation? Like, I know we're not supposed to give the value bomb away, but at the end of the day, they need to watch this. And it's not a BS VSL. It's like very in-depth. It goes over everything. It's like,
I think it still ensures a conversation to have, because how do you know that person is even right for that VSL? Because here's the thing, right? There could be something in that VSL that could repel. You're a perfectly good ideal client and you missed the opportunity because you didn't want to have a conversation with them.
okay.
Like if people would just watch my VSL for Lean on Laurel, there's a lot of fluidity in who could actually come into Lean on Laurel that I could actually help. And so sometimes putting a VSL in front of the conversation could be the worst thing that we could do in order to get the most perfect client.
Okay. So create the value bomb, have the conversations, but I can still direct them to the VSL if I feel they're a fit.
Exactly.
After
Yeah.
the conversation.
100%. That's what I do. Like, I don't run traffic to my VSL. Like, my VSL happens in the conversation.
And so with the messaging of the value, because I mean, I obviously wouldn't be able to do that in a value bomb post, but I could do it in a conversion multiplier.
Oh,
video.
you can do it in a you can do it in a value bomb post. Here, I'll here, let me. Oops. Let me see. If I go here, like if I go to my Instagram, I hate when they do this. Let's see. What is my trusted code? I hate that they do it, but I like that they do it. Let's see. Okay. 215. Okay. Let's see. If we go into my profile, this is one right here. You see this? This is a conversion multiplier.
Mm,
What do you think I'm doing when people
wow.
say GCA? Watch this. If I go to any of these, guess what? What do you think this is? These are all value bomb posts. Like
So-
if you go, like my Instagram is an entire like this is a value bomb post. This isn't, this is just sends people, but this is one. This is one. Did you guys see this one that I did the other day? Like I just was like I do these like all the time.
Wow. So I could like take a screenshot of the VSL, like the video, whatever. It's like a Zoom call, and then say free masterclass on Dynasty Trust, comment trust, whatever.
No, like here's
Something.
what I would do. What is a result that the strategy has gotten? Like, look, I'm not posting a screenshot of my VSL. I'm posting a screenshot of a result that
Okay.
a client want to see how it works.
So okay, so like I have like my clients' tax returns. It shows their before, we should have before and after. So we show, hey, this year they're paying 120, now they're paying 15,000 because they
yeah, like if your clients will let you do that, absolutely. Like social proof are the best ways to get people to watch your VSL. Yeah, if
Yeah.
y'all go to my Instagram, y'all could learn so much from the way that I do my Instagram and my YouTube channel.
Okay.
Because remember, I told you guys those are the two platforms that I'm super focused on.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Miss Phyllis. And then we'll end things with Kaiser because I said we would. And
Hi.
hey, great to see you.
Good to see you too. You are so funny. Anyway, what was I going to say? I just am trying to get clarity on the way I'm speaking about what I'm offering right now. So I have the hormone membership. We give them monthly hormone balancing meal plans, weekly workouts, and a guide to help them manage or reduce symptoms. Each month is themed. I know you have a better way to say that. That's how I'm talking about it. And it's not sexy at all.
Well, what are the problems that you're solving?
I'm getting rid of symptoms, hot flashes, night sweats, problem sleeping, low libido, and helping them lose weight.
So how much is it?
$59 a month.
What's the pushback that you're getting?
It's not catching them. There's something about the way we're talking about it that's not catching them.
So are you giving away value bombs and stuff, or what have you tried so far?
We have the ad running, which yes, I am behind. I'm procrastinating. I'm sorry. You told me to do
by the way, like I know that you've had a very rough couple of months and I've been wanting to reach out. And so I totally understand that. So just wanted to let you know that you have been in my prayers.
Thank you. So yeah, dealing with that it slows me down because some days I just can't do anything. So we do have the one ad. I am getting messages, but they're not responding after that. Or I'll get a couple that says, how much is it? And then they stop, and that's it.
So what are they saying in the messenger conversation?
I have some preloaded responses in there. One is what's included, so they usually click that, and then they'll usually ask how much is it, and then that's it, and they stop responding. after
See,
that.
I think that's the issue, is they're shopping around.
Ah,
Because if the main question is how much is it, they're shopping around for something. Have you tried doing the conversation first? Like by doing like, because I know you're putting out like your offer ads. Have you tried just doing like the value bomb strategy to get people into the membership?
I have not. So what
Right.
I'm going to attempt to do today was use a different, use a lead magnet, for lack of a better word, which is basically a short stress workshop with the meal plans and the stress protocol. And try to get the conversation started that way when they raise their hand for that. It's not free though.
Here's what I would do. And this is only what I would do. Because you mentioned a lot of value earlier when you're like, we help them with their weekly meal plan. We help them with hot flashes. I would literally create a free value bomb for each of those things, because think about this. If you like, let's just say I'm a hormonal woman, probably am, right? I'm in my 40s.
Yes.
And I'm like, and you said something like, women over 40 struggle with losing weight because of their hormones, but this 3 food list solves that in 7 days. Want to see it, right? I'm just making shit up, right? And so I raise my hand and I'm like, oh, I want that. And then Phyllis is like, hey, I'm messaging you, Laurel, because you said that you wanted my guide to, 7 days. So if you're asking for this, you probably are having issues with this. And by the way, that's a common problem with women. Can you tell me which of the following, fits you best? And then you give them just three of the max, like which of the following scenarios fits you best? And then I'm like, oh, this. And then you're like, oh, hey, tell me a little bit more about, like, if you're gaining weight, I can probably tell that you probably also have hot flashes for more than, an hour a day or every other day. Would I be correct in saying that? And I'm like, yes, Phyllis, I actually am. And you were like, look, I'll give you this, but what if, like, by the way, like, I know I can fix that hormone hot flash issue. It's because of this, this, and this. And there's not anything in this guide that's actually going to solve that problem. But for, X amount of dollars, I actually have a program that you could actually get into. And within 30 days, we can not only fix this, because inside the program, there's X, Y, and Z. Would that be something that would it be worth, $59 if, like, within 60 days, we could actually solve that problem? You see how, like, I was getting more information, but it all started with that value bomb. I think you can get a lot of people into that membership. You just need to have a little bit more conversations, and this is what's going to happen next, right? The next thing that's going to happen is you're going to hear from conversations of women like me to know exactly what to say in your next round of ads. That's going to get more people to click.
I love that. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And this is why I love the value bomb strategy, whether it is for a $7 program or whether it's for like a high ticket. It works both ways. That's why I like having that conversation first, because even if you have both, right? Because people are like, well, should I do it for this or this? And like, it gives you flexibility. Like, once you diagnose that person's problem, you can send them wherever you want, whether that's a phone call or to a low ticket membership. I close almost every single person I talk to with my $7 program.
But how do you give everything away if I give them this 3 food list? Well, it's just 3 things.
Phyllis, why are you in this program? All of this stuff is on my YouTube channel.
Direction, guidance. Okay, Laurel. Thank you.
You're very welcome. It's great to see you.
Good to see you too.
Kaiser, and then we're wrapping up. Man, you guys are like, we've jammed for almost 2.5 hours this morning.
Hello, Laurel. I hope you're doing
Hello.
well. So basically, I have a business of manufacturing customized apparels, activewears, and sportswears.
Okay.
So basically, I'm in a B2B niche.
Okay.
I'm not in a B2C. So I have been watching your content videos, and it's been like 3 weeks since I joined your program. And I've been uploading before joining your program. I have been uploading different, demonstration videos, and the production facilities videos. Like, okay, if
Yeah, so let's start one step back. What is the problem that your product solves?
Premium quality, and okay, some of the brand owners who are receiving poor quality products from the manufacturer, we are giving them, providing them premium facilities, a low turnaround time, low MOQs. I have a minimum order quantity of only 20 pieces.
So is it print on demand, or is it like big distribution?
It's not print on demand, but it's not also a big distribution, only MOQ of 20 pieces. So
Okay.
like minimum order quantity of 20 pieces, not like 100 or 500. If you want 20 pieces or more, we can provide to you. So basically, before joining your program, I have been uploading several product demonstration videos and production videos. But now I've come to the point where I'm stuck to the same number of followers and not getting too much, engagement. My main problem is that I'm sitting in Pakistan, and I am doing overseas business to USA, Canada, and Europe. So basically, my main issue is that first issue that I want to resolve is that I want my content to be visible to my potential customers, in the USA, Canada, and Europe. Secondly, what after watching your program videos, I went through the organic content videos, and basically what the thing want to discuss with you, that what I came to the point that I should change my direction, and I should upload a series of like how to find the perfect manufacturer according to your brand needs. Okay.
100%. Like, because if you think about like all of the problems that you were talking about earlier, that brand people are ordering their merchandise and getting low quality, great power content would be, here's what to look for on a website to ensure that your brand is ordering the best quality merch for your customers. I would be doing content, I would be doing content like that like all day long, and then giving away like fast guides. I'd be giving away like, hey, I back up what I say. Here's a 10% off like coupon or whatever. Like, drop a line below this video if you want this. All you have to do is this product code. Put it in my website. I would be doing that all day long, because you have to, like, at the end of the day, you are one of many people who are doing the same thing. Remember, at the end of the day, people buy from people, right? And if they're like, am I saying your name right, Kaiser? Is that how you say your name, or how do you say your name? I'm off. Kaiser? Khizer. Okay. But that's what makes you, right? And they're like, I trust him. Like, he just did this video, like, outlining like why, like, if you can help people realize like, hey, I bought from this other place and he just told me what I should have seen before I saw it. Like, it's building that trust, right? And you're giving people getting closer to clarity, certainty, and trust. And so I would literally just do videos talking about why your manufacturer and why your service and why they should trust you. I would be doing that, and then like giving away like a trial, like a coupon or something, to where like their first order, they get X percentage off. Because it's like, look, I guarantee that you're going to love the quality of my stuff so much that I'm going to give you a discount, because I know that you're going to come back for more.
Okay, so thanks a lot, Laurel, for this information. And I wanted to ask the main thing that I wanted to ask, that now I just told you that I want to upload how to find the perfect manufacturer according to your brand needs. Okay, so I want to break down this. I want to make this a whole series for my content, and break this down into 8 to 9 videos. So like
So what is it? So that was one problem, right? That you solved is they're getting bad quality. So what is it? What is another problem that you're solving?
Fast turnaround time.
Okay. So what is the average turnaround time?
My competitors are giving 3 weeks turnaround time, and I am giving 2 weeks turnaround time.
Okay. So you could literally do a video because you can say something like, look, most of my competitors say 3 weeks turnaround time. You're probably wondering why I can do it faster within 2 weeks. Here's why. Here's what we do different.
Okay.
So what's another problem?
My competitors have been offering higher MOQs, and I am offering low MOQs, like 20 pieces per style and in one color.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I would literally just go down the list of every single micro problem, like what we were talking about, like every single micro problem that you solve, give them a reason why you can offer this cheaper than everyone else, because that's going to be an objection, right? Why is this guy able to do this, right? And then offer them your value bomb. I would just make it be like a 10%, 5%, whatever you're comfortable with. Like just give away like a percentage or free shipping or something to where you can get those conversations a little bit faster.
Or like as you know, the winters are coming, so I can also give free guides to the clothing brand owners, offer free clothing product ideas, and that will be a guide and as a value bomb.
100%. Here are that you want the 10 top designs that are selling the most for my brand ambassadors. Here it is. Drop a line below this video if you want them.
And besides this content, I've been planning to, as I said, I've been planning to do the a series on how to find a clothing manufacturer, and I will divide this like, first determine your needs. I will upload the first video on determine your needs for your clothing brand. Then promise of value for this will be learn the actions which you need just before you start looking for a manufacturer. Just like that, I'm planning to do content like this.
100%. Like I said, I would literally fill a Google Doc, every single problem that you solve, and then what is like the value bomb? What is a resource that I can give away during this video that's going to get more people to respond?
Thanks a lot, Laurel. I just wanted to, before proceeding further, I just wanted to take your advice that if I'm going in the right direction. So yeah,
100%. And I will say this, if you do this strategy, there are so many companies that don't do it this way, and people have no idea what they're buying. And this is my, like, not only for the coaching space, but people are less likely to buy if they can't talk to an actual person. And I love the fact that you've taken this approach, because I think it will make you stand out from everyone else, because it is nowadays so hard to talk to a real person. Everyone wants to automate it with AI bots and all of this stuff. And I think that because everyone's moving into this AI, I think more people are going to crave the strategy that you're going to be doing, because they're actually going to get to talk to you before they buy.
Yes, thank you, Laurel. And one more thing, that for the first 90 days, I will be going with the organic content, and after 90 days, I will be doing ad spend. Is this right, or
I would start with ads. I don't recommend anyone starts with organic, honestly. It's the same content. I think you should do both, right? Because remember at the beginning I said there's no difference between organic and paid ads with me. It's all content. And so I throw money on everything. You have to, otherwise it's going to be a slow grow. Okay. Like I guarantee you, if I would have taken my own advice, because I went, but even while I was teaching ads, I didn't throw ads on my stuff. I made my first $200,000 without ads. If I was smart, my business would be at $10 million right now if I would have just started by using ads instead of doing organic. Because I was listening to people who said that, oh, you have to be at a certain point before you use ads. And I'm like, bullshit. I would be so much further ahead if I would have just followed my own advice, right?
That sounds great. That sounds great. Thanks a lot, Laurel. Thanks a lot for your valuable experience and information. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Great call today, guys. I got through everyone that I said I was going to get through. I am beat, my mind is mush, and I'm out of coffee. So you guys know what that means. But if you're an LOL, just hit me up on Voxer if I didn't answer any of your questions, if you need help with scripts or anything. Everyone else, the Ask Laurel thread will be up shortly, and I will see you guys in the Facebook group. I love all of you guys. Bye.